some of the things I do, I don't even know what I'm doing out there myself, but I'm just trying to have fun and trying to do the best that I can do to help my team be successful.
Avery Johnson, from New Orleans to the NBA, Southern University's very own living legend. On March 25, 1965, in New Orleans, Louisiana, one of Southern University's very own living legends was born. This young man with a modest style became known throughout the world for numerous accomplishments in the field of basketball and public service. This young man is none other than Southern University graduate, former NBA player, and Dallas Mavericks head coach, Avery Johnson. Join me as we take a closer look at Coach Johnson's journey from New Orleans to the NBA. Johnson began making news headlines in New Orleans as a high school senior in 1983 at St. Augustine High School. During that year, he led St. Aug to a 35-0 record in the Class 4A Louisiana State Championship. Little did he know that would be the first of several championships. After making a name for himself in New Orleans during his high school career, he began his collegiate experience at New Mexico Junior College before moving on to Cameron University and finally Southern University. While at Southern University, Johnson's scoring output was modest, 9.2 points per game in 2 seasons. But his playmaking was spectacular. Johnson averaged 10.7 assists in 1986-87 season and 13.3 assists in the 1987-88 season, leading all NCAA Division I players both years.
We would have a heavy jump rope, maybe 25, 30 pounds, and it would wear me out, you know, and he would always, you know, come on, you can make it, do it, you can make it. And I think that jump rope, when we finished with it, both of us slam it up against the wall next to the weight room, and, you know, and it's like a determined type of slam, you know, that we accomplished something, and that went on to better things on the court when we would, you know, play the opposition.
He was the Southwestern Athletic Conference Player of the Year and MVP of the conference tournament as both a junior and senior. And those who knew Avery were certain that he was destined for success.
Well, when Avery was a student here at Southern playing basketball, and Avery and I got to talk a lot. We talked on various issues. We talked about the good things that were going on and talked about things when they weren't going well. And you know, the one thing is that Avery dad, if he could have his way, Avery would have played baseball. Very few people know that his dad really wanted him to be a baseball player. But you know what? I'm so glad he never touched baseball and he became a basketball player.
In addition to leading the NCAA in assists in each of his 2 years at Southern, he still owns several NCAA Division I records, including most assists in a single game, the highest single season assist average, and the highest career assist average. Southern University is proud to have graduates who have made tremendous accomplishments and strides, such as Avery Johnson.
He is probably one of the most humble person that I've met. Just sitting down and talking to him, you think about where life has taken him, coming out of New Orleans, living in the projects, to go on to reach the heights that he's reached, and yet he keeps the common touch. So if I had to describe him as a person, I'd say he's a very humble person, very knowledgeable, very talented, but always maintaining his humility.
Upon graduation in 1988, Johnson spent a summer season with the USBL's Palm Beach Stingrays. After that, Johnson was signed by the Seattle Supersonics and managed to spend the next 16 years playing in the NBA, including teams such as the Denver Nuggets, the Houston Rockets, the Golden State Warriors, and the Dallas Mavericks.
What we saw in Avery was his innate ability to play the game of basketball, his unselfishness, and it just appeared that the basketball was an extension to him. And, you know, of course, at Southern, he led the nation in assists. And all of those things, and also him being, you know, unselfish on the court, off the court, just a very quality human being. And I just think that if Southern is turning out those types of human beings that you should be really, really proud.
Johnson is most well known for his time with the San Antonio Spurs, where he made tremendous contributions to the team during the years 1991, 1992-93, and 1994 through 2001. Particularly known and admired for his leading role on the 1999 Spurs team, Johnson helped take home the NBA championship title against the New York Knicks, where the nation watched and cheered along as he successfully made the victorious jump shot in Game 5.
11 three-pointers in the entire series.
Minute to go, elimination game. Can New York hold them off?
Sean Elliott. Avery Johnson. Big hoop for Avery Johnson.
On March 28, 2003, while playing with the Mavericks, Johnson became the 75th player in league history to play 1,000 career games. At 5'11", he joined Calvin Murphy as the only other player under 6 feet in height to reach that milestone.
Well, from watching him coach when he's on TV, it's exactly like his coaching style. You know, he's a fierce competitor, very competitive, and you know, just the desire to win in anything. And I see those same attributes on the sideline as he coaches.
Johnson has left his mark not only as a player, but also as a coach. After spending the 2003-04 season playing with the Golden State Warriors, Johnson signed as a player-coach with Dallas Mavericks under head coach Don Nelson. Nelson served as Johnson's coach from 2001 to 03. Johnson began the 2004-05 seasons as an assistant coach after retiring as a player on October 28, 2004. In 16 NBA seasons, he averaged 8.4 points, 5.5 assists, 1.7 rebounds, and 25.3 minutes played in 1,054 career games. On March 19, 2005, Avery Johnson was named the 8th coach in the history of the franchise. Johnson finished the season with a 16-2 mark and was named Western Conference Coach of the Month for April, after guiding the Mavericks to their highest win total for that month in team history with a 10-1 mark. He was also named Western Conference Coach of the Month in November of 2005, becoming the first coach in league history to win the award in his first 2 full months of coaching. Johnson picked up the award again in January 2006 and was later named NBA Coach of the Year for the 2005-06 season.
It speaks so highly of him to be considered Coach of the Year because it's a great tool for Southern University to say that you have a young man that come out of New Orleans, come to Baton Rouge, and over a 2-year period accomplish all of these things in athletics. So he was not just a player, but he was a coach on the court at the same time. And Ben Jobe would always, you would hear Ben talk about that, how Avery could carry out the assignments. It was just like having a coach on the court.
Johnson won 66 of his first 82 games, which was 4 more wins than any other coach in league history had through 82 games. He was also the fastest coach to reach the 50th win mark in 62 games and coached the Western Conference in the 2006 All-Star Game. Last season, Johnson guided Dallas to a franchise high, tying 60 wins in its first appearance in the NBA Finals. In 2006-07 season, Johnson led the Mavericks to a franchise record 67 wins and the NBA's best record. Following the team's 10-0 record in February, the NBA awarded Johnson with the Coach of the Month honors. With his win on November 18, 2007 against the Grizzlies, Johnson became the fastest coach to reach 150 wins. Johnson's Southern University family is certain of one thing, that the series of milestones and numerous wins under his leadership is only the beginning. Presently, serving as the successful head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, Johnson is also known to many as the Lilttle General for his small stature, his leadership skills as a point guard and floor general. But there's a certain side of Avery that cannot be deemed little, and that's his big heart. Avery has a profound commitment to community service. His motivational speeches are in high demand at churches and schools across the nation. Having personal ties to New Orleans, in October 2005, he served as co-host of the Katrina Rescue Ride to benefit the Salvation Army and the Red Cross relief efforts of the victims of Hurricane Katrina. Johnson also values family. Johnson married his wife Cassandra in July of 1991 in New Orleans. They have 2 children, Christiane and Avery Jr.
Avery Jones was a good person all down through the years. He was good to everybody.
No, I didn't even forgot. You wouldn't forget either when you down and out.
Johnson has made a significant impact on the sport of basketball, holding a playing and coaching record like no other. Recently, Johnson served as the commencement speaker for Southern University.
And my question was, how long did it take to do all of this? And they explained how long it took, years and years and years, to do what they did in the Vatican. Now I understand. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're going to have some patience.
During his empowering commencement address, he stressed to graduates the importance of perseverance and excelling in spite of the odds. Johnson also alluded to the mentoring and nurturing that he received while at Southern University, and specifically from his basketball coach and mentor, Ben Jobe.
You cannot create genius, but genius can create. And that's what I saw in him. There are all types of geniuses in music, like Ray Charles, a musical genius. Beethoven was a genius. Chopin was a genius. Michelangelo was a genius. Avery Johnson on the basketball court, he was a genius.
After Johnson's commencement address, Johnson's number 15 jersey was retired in the very spot where he spent countless hours practicing for perfection and creating his path of success in Southern University's F.G. Clark Activity Center. Southern University also awarded Johnson with an honorary doctorate in humane studies.
So if you go down all those 11 A's, those pillars of success of what we deem to take Southern University to the next level, he symbolizes in one way, shape, or fashion some of those. And what you get from that is the great individual that he is.
Avery, you did it the right way. And if old blue-eyed Frank Sinatra could hear it when he said, I did it my way, you did it your way.
And this is why the Southern University A&M College System is proud to honor the accomplishments of alumnus Avery Johnson. He is Southern University's very own living legend.
Hello, Avery. I love you, son. This your old grandmother, made 108 months old.